G'day folks, Ben from Science today showing you this Darche alien light and speaker.
Hit it.
This is a multi-function light and speaker that can be used as one whole unit or broken apart to be used independently. It's got separate tripods, multiple mounting options, and is charged via solar and 240 volt. Before we dive in, we've got loads more content like this on our channel, so make sure you like and subscribe below. Now let's jump into the product. So this is Darche's alien light and speaker in its container here. This is a semi-soft case, so it's going to give it good protection, but it's not a fully rigid case. This weighs about just over 7 kilos. The components inside weigh around about 5, and this measures 70 centimeters by 35 centimeters this way, about 18 centimeters in height. You can fit extra stuff inside here. We'll show you what comes inside, and I'll pull all the bits out and then sort of explain to you what they are as I put them back in. So you can see there's a lot of padding in here. Keep all of this because it's going to protect it when it's in transit. This is the main unit, your solar charging panel, and your units on here. We'll go into all of that detail shortly. Keep hold of that one. I'll leave this in here, but this is a 240 volt charging adapter, so you can charge it from a 240 volt outlet. I've got 3 components here which make up the tripod, so you can stand it anywhere in your campsite. We'll just put these out here because we'll put this together very shortly. Show you how that looks. Instruction manual, everything I go through today plus more is going to be in here, so you can check that out. You've got a little carry handle, show you more on that shortly, and some pegs to peg the tripod down. This is a roof rack or a rooftop tent bracket which works in conjunction with this, show you more on that shortly. And some small tripods that you can mount each component individually. Once again, I'll show you more on that shortly. So your mounting options for this, if you're going to use this unit as a whole, everything attached to here, and you want to actually put this up so that this light shines down and your speaker in the middle shines down. You've got 2 lights and a speaker. We'll go into more of that shortly. Mounting first. So you've got this bracket here that is attached permanently to this unit here. And you can put your tripod, so when we set this tripod up, we'll put one end of the tripod in here to mount this, and we can move it around. You also get this little bracket here. Just put that down and show you how this goes together. So this has got M8 bolts on here, so we can mount that to the rail on the side of a roof rack or a rooftop tent. Most rooftop tents have got channels for bolts on the side of it. So you can mount this permanently on the side of your rooftop tent. Then you just need this little upright here. It slots in place there, so you can leave this bit mounted to your rooftop tent. This slides in here and locks into place, just a little locking handle here to lock that in place. So if we've now got that mounted to our rooftop tent, when you get to camp, you only need to put this little upright here and then put this on top. Once again, just a little locking pin there. Turn that around, lock that in place. We've now got a small mounting spot that could be attached to the side of our vehicle. We spin this around if you wanted. So you can angle the solar panel to the sun. You can point the lights and everything downwards and just lock that back into place. So you can now pivot this so it can point downwards into your campsite, and that would sit on the side of your vehicle. That's one option you've got for mounting. The next option, if you're using the whole unit once again, because you can use these individually, is the tripod. So we'll put this down and we'll set this tripod up now. So these 4 poles here are the tripod components. This is the main central shaft that we're going to mount the unit on. First thing we need to do is put these legs in place. Now these are quite durable materials. This, I don't think, it's not a metal, but it feels like a really tough plastic. And these lock into place by unlocking this element here, and they slide into that slot there. So push it all the way in till it locks right down the bottom, and then slide this down to lock that into place. Do that for all 3. So open this up, lock it into place, slide that one around, and the last one. Now this one has got an adjustable element to it, so that if we do have uneven grounds, we can actually use this adjustment here to change the length of this leg to make it upright on uneven ground. We can now stand this up on the ground here, and it's a little bit crooked because I shortened this one down, so I'll lengthen that out a little to straighten it up. And you've got peg points in the bottom of these sections here, and you get 3 pegs in a plastic bag here to peg that down to keep it secure so it doesn't fall over. We now come up to the main central shaft here. You can see we've got locking nuts here. These are semi-spring loaded, so if we undo this, that opens to that point there, and the same with the next section up. If I undo that, this section pops out. So it allows you to push it right down, but easy to pull it out when you go to use it. So this will go right out to well above my height. I'm 185 centimeters, so probably about 190 centimeters to that point there, plus the unit on top, so you can get it up nice and high. I'll just lower it down a little because I want to talk about all the features once I've got it mounted on here. If we now grab the unit itself, undo this locking mechanism here. Now this slides on top of the pole here. We can pivot this around and then lock it in any position that we want. Now, there's a fair bit to cover off on this, quite a few details. We'll cover off on the solar panel first. So this is a 9-watt solar panel. There's actually 3 components on the other side here. To spin this around, we've got 1, 2, 3 components, and each of these has a 5,200 milliamp hour battery inside. So total battery in this unit here at the moment is 15,600 milliamp hours. And they are, when they're attached to this main unit, being able to be charged through this solar panel here, and it'll charge in about 24 hours. Sitting in good sun will charge everything on the other side here in that time. You can also charge via the 12-volt adapter that we showed you previously. That is on the base here. We can see that we've got a weather protected cover here, which goes over the top of 240 volts adapter. So that's a 12-volt, 2-amp input there. That will charge this in about 8.5 hours. And you've also got a 5-volt, 1-amp USB output. Little light indicator here says when it's red, the unit is being powered by solar. When it's green, it's being powered or charged by 240-volt AC. So that's the solar element covered off. Now, we'll cover off on the actual interesting side of it, which is the lights and the speaker. Now, important to note that the batteries actually exist in each of these units. So this one, and this one all come off. So as a standalone unit, this here is only a solar panel. It doesn't have a battery inside. So if you're going to charge from that USB port I showed you in the bottom here, you need to have these attached because these are what have the battery inside. Now you can put these in any spot along here. They'll go in any spot. You just need to make sure that you've lined up the batteries or this hook side of it with these little elements here so they actually charge. They just attach by magnets. These are magnets here and they've got nice firm attachment, which is nice and sturdy there. So I've got lights above and the speaker in the middle. You can operate this all at once with this button here. So if I hold down on this, it's going to turn on, and we can scroll through the settings here as well. So that's the low sort of diffused light setting. If I press it again, it's a few seconds delay, it goes up to a brighter setting, and then up to the brighter setting, which they say is just over 1,000 lumens. Although if you read it different, the manual and the box say different things, but you've got about 1,000 lumens there. If I press it again, it goes to a reading light. Now this is a more direct light, so if we want something shining directly onto a table, we might want to angle this down and shine directly on a table. That's going to give us the direct light. And then if you press it once more, everything goes on. So that's probably actually where you get the over 1,000 lumen setting, having all of these lights on. Press it again and it goes back to the low setting. To turn it off, hold down and the whole thing turns off. Now further to using this as one whole unit, we can use these independently or even attach them together to use them as 3 units together hanging independently of the backing here. Just cover up on a few materials while we're here. It is a heavy duty ABS plastic, so it feels, while it is plastic, this feels like it's really well made. So there's certainly no flimsy elements to it. All works well. These clip into place really positively, and these have even got sort of a rubbery sort of finish around the outside on these corners here. Sorry, rubber bumpers on the corners. The first thing I want to show you with these is how you can use them as individual units or as 3 units attached as one independent of the solar base. All of these here, little six things here, are cold shoes. Pop these out, they've got a little tripod thread in there, but before I show you that, I'm going to show you how you can attach these together. We pull these out, slot them in the side here. We can then attach one light to the speaker. So these are now attached together. We can pull this hook out. We've now got something to hang this up with if we use this as an independent unit away from the charging station. So we charge it during the day. We've used it on the tripod in the campsite during the night, and we now want to bring it into our tent. We attach these together and we can now hang it like this within our tent. You will need to turn all of these on individually. They don't now operate from the one central button. That only happens when it's attached to the solar panel, but we've now got this unit that we can use as a standalone. Now you do also have hot shoe attachments on the ends here. So you could use with these tripod mounts here. I don't know if it's quite strong enough, we'll give it a go, but our little tripod here, we can screw in the bottom here. We open up the feet like this, and that will then stand independently. Could even potentially use two of them to make it sturdier. If we put a hot shoe here and another hot shoe on this side, making sure that we've got the threads pointing out, we'll screw this into here. Do the same on this side. We've now got 2 feet to give it a bit of extra stability. That should make it nice and stable in your campsite. So you've now got a portable light to move around the campsite and the speaker in the middle there. You can also use them independently. So if I just take one light off, for example, and we'll go through all the details of this now in terms of lumens. So they're quite firm, the hot shoes, so it slides in nice and firmly. We've now got a little individual light, so you can take them to various spots around the campsite and leave your speaker hanging somewhere else. Now each of these have their own settings, so the lumens are slightly less when you're only talking about one, so you get over 1,000 lumens when it's all together. This has from about 190 lumens up to 820 lumens, and it runs through the same settings. So the one button on the back here, hold it down to turn it on, and then we keep pressing this button to scroll through the settings. So low, medium, bright, goes to the reading light, and we can see there's much more of a spot there now. And then one more press goes to everything being on. So that's probably our brightest 820 lumens. Combine 2 of these together, you get over that 1,000 lumens setting. One more press and it goes off again. Sorry, hold down and it goes off again. You also get individual charging elements in the bottom here. So you've got a 5-volt output there, so you can charge from this. There's a 5,200 milliamp hour battery inside each of these. And you've also got a 5-volt USB-C input there, so you can charge these individually via a USB-C input as well. Now charged, you get between 2 and 14 hours of runtime out of the light here, depending on what setting you've got it on. And these, everything is actually IP44 rated, which means it can be outside in a bit of rain. I'd recommend wherever you can bring it inside if it is raining really heavy, but it is going to put up with a bit of moisture. Moving on to the speaker now, before I go into too much detail, I will show you the handle that also comes with this, because we've got the right hot shoes on here. So if you've got these joined together or as an individual unit, you get this little strap here with these threads here, and these will screw into the hot shoes here and create a little handle that we can use to carry this around. So if you want to hang the speaker up just by the handle, maybe walk around with it, you've now got a little handle that you can use to carry this around, so you can attach all 3 on the bottom there. You can also use this handle on the back, so if you want the speaker facing downwards, if you just push the cold shoes back into their little clips on the back here, that holds relatively firmly. You wouldn't want too much weight on it, but it's more than firm enough to secure the speaker like this. So we can now hang that so the speaker is pointing straight down. So if you've got it in the middle of your gazebo, maybe in the middle of your tent, you want the speaker pointing straight down, you've got that option there as well. Now the speaker here is, it takes about 7 hours to charge. Once again, you've got a charging port in the bottom here, 5-volt charging port USB-C, and you've got 5-volt output as well. Once again, as I mentioned, 5,200 milliamp hour battery inside here. 7 hours of charge time, you get about 8 hours of runtime out of this. Quite a durable unit, as I mentioned, IP44 rated. Power button is on the back here. To connect this, it's really easy. We hold this, I think we just hold it down and you hear that beep there. Blue light flashes down in the corner here, and if we have a look at our Bluetooth and search for new devices, it should come up as, there'll be an Darche, there we go, Darche Alien speaker. So that is now on that unit. I'll wait for it to connect, and I think we'll get a beep when it does connect. That's now beeped. Blue light has stopped flashing. We can now play some music if we like. So that's now the music coming out. There's 3 speakers in here, round one on each side and a longer one in the middle there. The volume and everything's all controlled through your phone. There's no volume or anything on here. You do have another hook on the back here though that you can use to hang this wherever you like. And you've got all those options with the hot shoes on the side and the tripods that you can use to stand that up as well. So that is Darche's Alien light and speaker. Pretty nifty little unit if you like to have kind of the latest tech in your campsite. This is going to introduce a speaker and a light. It's a very versatile light system that you can carry from the main part of your campsite to in your tent, in your gazebo. You can even just take them independently. If you need a trip to the toilet, you can just take one of these off and use it if you like. Lots of mounting options via this tripod here. Mount it to the side of your roof rack or wherever you've got M8 channel bolts that you can attach that bracket to. Use them independently. This is just, you could just leave it on the ground to charge during the day with the backing unit here if you like. So lots of different options. Darche's Alien Light and Solar Panel. Check them out online at snowies.com.au.